Hi, my name is James LeBreton. I'm one of the Karma short course instructors. This year I will be teaching the Introduction to Multi-Level Analysis with R class. So I just want to put together a video and give you a little bit of a sense of my background and kind of what we're going to cover in this class. In terms of my background, I have a PhD in industrial psychology. My minor's in statistics. And I've taught a lot of statistics. I graduated back in 2002, and really since then, the vast majority of my teaching has been focused on doctoral level classes in quantitative methods and research methods. I also had the opportunity to serve as an associate editor and eventually as the editor of Organizational Research Methods, which is obviously a very methods-driven journal. And I recently served as one of the two co-editors on the APA Handbook of Multi-Level Theory, Measurement, and Analysis. So I've got a pretty good background in multi-level from a publication perspective, from a teaching perspective, and from a reviewing perspective. My particular course is the introductory course, and so the course is kind of structured into four primary modules. The first module focuses on multi-level theory, and so here what we're really focused on are concepts related to multi-level constructs. We'll talk about things like emergence. We'll talk about composition and compilation processes. And there's not a big lab component to that, right? So there's not a lot of data analysis or analyses, that data structure or anything that goes into that first module. That changes with the rest of the course. So starting with Module 2, we'll get into issues related to the aggregation of data, how to avoid making errors of inference when we've got data that are aggregated at different levels. How do we make sure that we align the inference with the level of the inference with the level of the data that we have. We'll talk about things like aggregation bias, cross-level bias, data aggregation, and cross-level inference. The third module focuses on a specific kind of family of data aggregation models called composition models. And so these are models where we've got data at a lower level, like individual perceptions of their work environment, and we want to aggregate those up to a group level, to a team level, or to an organizational level. And so this unit will talk about, this module, the third module, will talk about different statistics that we can use to help justify that process, to help create the kind of defense or the statistical justification necessary to say we can take these lower level data and in fact use them, aggregate them, and use them to represent a higher level construct at a higher level. And then the fourth module is the introduction to a two-level multi-level regression, sometimes called a hierarchical linear model, random coefficient regression, mixed effects models. And here we'll focus on kind of what are the differences between a traditional single-level fixed effects regression and this two-level mixed effects regression. We will introduce examples that would be consistent with the ones that I've already used. So things like kids nested in classrooms would be a good two-level example, or soldiers nested in platoons, or companies nested in industries. But you kind of have these two distinct levels in your model. And so we'll introduce, kind of how you specify those models, how you run the models, and how you draw inferences from those models and test your hypotheses. And throughout the course, we'll be using the R and RStudio software. They're really, what's great about them is they're free, and the packages that we want to use in those software programs are also freely available. And you're welcome to use whatever software you like to use, but in the class I'll be using R, and that's what I'm really most qualified to provide you feedback and counsel on how to specify and test your models. And then kind of at the end of the class, I like to try to have a wrap-up session where we can kind of go back and revisit any of the issues that may have come up throughout the week, and then also provide students with an opportunity to ask questions that might be unique to their particular research questions and unique to their particular projects and things that they're working on. So that's kind of my background and my class in a nutshell. I hope to see you in a future Karma class. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. It's just my first name, James, dot my last name, LeBreton, LeBreton, @ psu.edu. Thanks. Bye.